Good afternoon and welcome to NYFP. Today I'm joined by Kenneth Polcari of ICAP. Hi Ken, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, in today's trading session, we're seeing a U.S. stocks trade on both sides of the flat line, and we do have Bernanke as well as President Obama speaking. So how are you positioning yourself?
Here's what I'm thinking. The market feels very quiet right now. You can almost sense it when you're walking around the floor, right? There's not a whole lot of commitment in terms of volume, and you're right. We're between minus 20 and plus 20. I think the day is going to look forward to Ben Bernanke, but I don't think that Ben Bernanke is going to say anything that's going to truly trump the president's speech tonight. I think he's going to reiterate what's already out there, what's in the papers today. He's got a couple of options that they've been talking about. They've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, so that's not new news. But beyond that, I don't expect that he's going to say anything that's really going to stand out, because I think he's really going to leave the day to the president, because in terms of the president, this is a make or break moment for him, for his presidency, and for the country. He's really got to say something that's going to, blow the roof off the house.
Following President Barack Obama's speech later on tonight, we do have the G7 taking place in France on Friday.
Right.
Now, given all the problems over in the Eurozone and some of the progress that's been made this week, how concerned are you going forward about Europe?
I think you have to be very concerned. I mean, listen, even Trichet said it this morning in his speech of the ECB. They're leaving rates alone. They're not worried about inflation anymore. They're signaling that there's going to be a slowdown. The OECD came out last night, confirmed the fact that this global economy is moving into kind of halt speed. So you have to be very, very concerned about it. Remember, Europe is not disconnected from the rest of the world, or United States is not disconnected from the rest of the world. The information moves so quickly around the world, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, however, it's in a nanosecond. So the world is that much more connected, and it's very important. So no longer can you say that's their problem or this is our problem. In fact, it is a global problem. And quite honestly, I think the markets have to be concerned and are concerned about global growth going forward.
Okay, Kenny, last but not least, before we wrap it up, I want to talk about individual sectors. Now, we've been seeing company shakeups in the financial sector as well as the tech sector, but what are you staying away from and what looks like a good opportunity?
Listen, I love all of a sudden, and I know this might be really out on the edge there, but I think the financials are getting way overdone. And one of the names, I think the group is kind of overdone. I know that typically it's leading us down, but the fact is I'm getting a sense that it's a little bit overdone, and I do think what's going to happen in the president's speech tonight, I think he's going to lay out these proposals. I think that the Republicans are going to have to come to the table, because if they don't, then what's going to happen is the Democrats are going to turn around and say the Republicans are stalling his proposal. They're stalling this economy. They're stalling the jobs creation bill. So therefore, I think the Republicans will come. At that point, I think the market's going to stabilize. It's not necessarily going to take off and run away, but I think sectors like financials, which have gotten really beaten up, is going to be a sector to really look at and might be interesting from the long side. A lot's going to depend on the reaction tonight from the Republicans.